Hey everyone, welcome back. We are doing a review of the new 2.2 Prydwen tier list. There is some massive changes that they did to the tier list, and I'm joined with Loki Harbor. Loki, you want to introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? Loki Harbor on YouTube. But yeah, we're here. I saw this last night and I was like, bro, they made some crazy changes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go over it.
Yep.
So I'm excited for this.
I'm really excited. Okay, we are starting off on the category and tag. So they updated this. I think what they added was the special tags. I believe more stuff to the special tags. They added advance, buff, delay, energy, SP positive, and SP negative.
I like that. I like the SP positive and SP negative.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Oh, they also added break, debuff, dot, and follow up, which is cool. These special tags. It's nice that they added these just so that people can kind of know when they look at this tier list, oh, okay, these characters are really good in follow up. These ones are the meta ones. So for future pulls, people will know. What do you think about these archetypes?
Yeah, I think the archetypes are really nice. It helps you understand why a character is in a specific spot, but this is what I want to talk about. The S, A, B, C, D, it's gone. We have a new system with TO being the high, TO and TO.5 being the highest. Characters in this bracket are the cream of the crop. They do outrageous amounts of damage, provide massive buffs or debuffs, or keep the team alive no matter what the enemy throws at them. They simply can achieve the best, most consistent, and accessible results in their best teams, allowing you to easily clear MOC in pure fiction. Then you have the meta characters, the T1, T1.5, and then T2. Characters in this bracket make clearing MOC in pure fiction a breeze, but compared to the Apex characters, they require more work from your side. So it's probably like better relics, more investment in traces, things like that. Either their team options are more restrictive, they require bigger relic investment, yeah, like I said, or they possess a notable weakness or downside. They're still great and won't disappoint you if you give them what they need to shine. You want to talk about the other two, or?
Yeah, so the niche characters are characters in the bracket filling many fields in their role in MOC or pure fiction. These characters still possess the ability to clear all content with the right build, in-game, blessing, team, or enemy lineup, but you will have much lower play rates and success rates than meta and Apex characters. I think this is actually a good tier to have because I think there are some niche characters, and then forgotten ones are just the ones that are struggling, and their kits don't really work in a lot of modes, and you probably shouldn't use them unless if you really enjoy the characters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think it's cool that they have these like half tiers, so like the like 0.5s. I think it's a really good addition because I don't think that a lot of characters are like really bad, but they or like not like the best. Some of the characters are not like, for example, Apex tier, like the really good ones, but they're like just barely there. So I like how they have these like 0.5 variations in the tier list.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then for the criteria, level 80, all major traces.
So everything is manual play.
Yeah, major traces upgraded to 8. Equipped with level 80 non-limited 4-star or 5-star light cone. Okay. Battle Pass light cone is not taken into account. E0 for 5-star characters, E0 to E6 for 4-star characters. And then they have the same roles before.
Eidolons. Yeah. Everything's pretty much the same. I don't think they changed anything in here. I mean, damage dealer, specialist, amplifier, sustain, pretty much all have stayed the same. Flexibility, investment, and utility. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of changes in here. I think the only change that they did was I think it's I believe it's the light cones. They include non-limited light cones in here as well. I don't believe that was in the last criterias for the tier list for 2.1, I believe.
Yeah.
So
correct us if we're wrong, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so flexibility, investment, utility. Okay, yeah. So the amplifier, damage dealer, specialist, sustain. They kept that in. I'm ready to talk about this tier list. Good. I think we're gonna talk about MOC first, and then we're probably gonna glance over pure fiction real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Do you want to go through damage dealers? Just go down the list, and then specialist, amplifier, sustain. Or do you want to go like?
You want to go left to right?
0, and then
I want to do that. Yeah, let's go left to right.
Yeah.
So T0 tier, Acheron. 100% agree.
Totally fair.
100% agree. No one's doing Acheron damage. Acheron's insane. She's an intimidator. She's insane. Sustained.
Yeah.
Bit of a venturine. Do you think she's in the same SP positive as well? Do you think she's in the same tier as Fushuan, or he's in the same tier as Fushuan?
Who, a venturine?
Do you think they deserve to both be in T0?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I know a lot of people want to make the argument that like Ho could be up here as well, but I just think as far as for like pure keeping your team alive, like for those of you guys who haven't done the story yet, I'll just say that you will have to do a fight, and having a venturine makes a fight so unbelievably easy. So I think that like preventing damage is like preventing yourself from even taking damage is good, but then mitigating damage is also insanely strong as well. So I think they both belong in the same tier. I think they're really strong. What do you think?
I could see them both being in the same tier. Fushuan's gonna pretty much make it so your team, well, it's tough. You know that, oh man, I don't want to, so there's new enemies in the game.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk? Do you think it's okay to talk about that, or should we do that in a later video?
I think they would have. How many days has it been since it's been 2-3 days since it's been released. If you haven't played the story, just heads up.
Yeah, if you haven't played the story, skip ahead 1 minute. Skip ahead like a minute. All right, I'm just gonna say this real quick. There's a new enemy. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a new enemy. It applies dots to your team. An enemy like that, and then it triggers them. It's like a mini Kafka. An enemy like that is dangerous for Fushuan. It is deadly for Fushuan. Whereas Ho handles that guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's an MOC where that guy,
even adventuring the shield.
Oh yeah, the effect res
prevents the
yeah. If there's an MOC where
the
that
guy who plays the music.
Yeah, and he makes it so you just don't go. So like he just ruins your turn order. I think Ho definitely handles that better than Fushuan. Fushuan can block 1, but that's it. Ho cleanses that immediately, plus heals you and gives energy to your team. I think she kind of deserves to be up here as well, but I digress.
I would agree.
That was my argument for that. T0 point. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I think in the T0 tier, I know this is gonna be a hot take, and a lot of people are gonna be mad, but I think Ron Maid deserves to be in the tier 0. I think still,
I agree.
Even though Robin is correct, like I still think Robin is an insanely good character, but I think what Ron May does is just unbelievably broken. I don't know. I just think she's still a cut above like Robin and Sparkle.
I agree with that. In my opinion. I agree with that. Yeah, break, buff, delay. I think she should be in T0 as well. Like I have Robin. I did pull Topaz as well.
Ooh, did you get Topaz?
I lost the 50-50 to Himiko at like 40, which wasn't horrible, and then I had to go like 70 for Topaz. But I do have, I have everything except Venturine, but I do. Robin's insane. Robin's nuts. But I do think Ron May is like a cut above Robin. I'm telling you, that weakness break efficiency, this is one thing people don't talk about a lot. It's insane. The delay, which is essentially, if you think about it, Robin advancing the entire team forward it's like the same thing
Yeah.
as like delaying the enemy. You get an entire new set of turns if you have like certain speed. But
If you have the and if you have the right like coverage for elemental weakness as well, like pretty much good.
oh, and then also, see, this is one thing that they didn't add. And I remember Gotcha Smack mentioned this. They should have a little box here. If you pair her with Harmony MC, insane. They're insane together. They're insane together. She definitely goes up to T0 with the inclusion of Harmony MC.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Do you think Sparkle should be
about,
here as well?
Okay, I think this one's also a hot take as well. I think Sparkle does not to be in the same tier. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I haven't played with Robin, but I have seen what she can do. I've seen showcases where it's literally just March 7th, Pela, Ron May, and Robin, and they just absolutely destroy everything. Like, I don't think Sparkle can do can do that. Like, yeah, Sparkle is good, but like I think that Robin and Fushua or Ron May are just like a cut above Sparkle. I think she can go to like at least tier 1. I think, yeah, I don't know.
So that would put her in the same tier as Ting Yun. I know we're kind of all over the place, but we kind of have to be. That would put her in the same tier as Ting Yun. So do you think Sparkle's in the same tier as Ting Yun? Or you think Ting Yun should move down? See, it's tough. It's really tough because it's like I think 100% we both agree Ron May should be in T0.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with Sparkle's the same tier as Robin. I think Robin's slightly better than Sparkle, but it's like by a very minute amount. But yeah, that's all I think about that. And then finally they put Black Swan next to Kafka. Do we agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think that.
Go ahead.
That's fair. Go ahead. I think it's fair.
Yeah. They're so good together.
I don't own either of these characters, so I've only used them like other people's characters, like Black Swan and Kafka, and I'm like, hey, they're correct to me. So
yeah, Black Swan's insane. I really do wish I had Black Swan. I did test her in the beta a while back, but I do wish I had her for my Acheron team. But she's really good. I think those two definitely belong together in the same tier. Kafka being more of an enabler, and then Black Swan also being able to defense down the enemy while inflicting ridiculous amounts of dots. So as far as damage dealers, Danny Boy and Jing Liu in the same tier, one being SP negative and one being SP positive. Do we agree with that?
I think so. I think it's pretty fair. I feel like they're at this. I think with their like respective teams, I do think they're at the same strength.
Okay.
I actually picked up Jing Liu's light cone before it went away on my main account.
Okay.
And like, and my Imbibitor Lune, I feel like they feel about the same. I do think that Jing Liu. Obviously, my deal is like E2, and I have Sparkle, so he will feel a little bit stronger. But I mean, I still use Jing Liu to clear most of the content, so I think she's very, very strong.
Yeah, she's still very, very strong. She's not Acheron, but she still does pretty decent damage, and so does Dill. So they definitely belong there. 100% agree with that. No disagreements here. We're gonna move down to the T1 tier. First in slot and damage dealers, we have Dr. Ratio at E0.
My guy. This is my dude. I love this.
Yeah.
This is my guy. I'm like, he deserves to be there.
Yeah, I've been exclusively running Ratio, Topaz, Robin, Gallagher has been my team, and it's been super. It's been really, really fun. So yeah, I agree with this. He's a monster, especially in follow-up attack teams. So yeah, there's no disagreements there. And then we have Topaz being in a T1 tier. Do we agree with that? Yeah,
I would agree as well.
I agree with that. She has her own individual damage while also providing value to your team, and then she's also going to have future value as more follow-up attack units come out in the future. And then
Yep.
this is the big one. This is the big one. Harmony Trailblazer
Yes.
in T1 tier. This is the highest we've ever seen
I'm not
a
gonna lie.
Trailblazer. Yeah.
Yeah. I am so stoked, okay?
And that's at
I
E5.
think
I,
that
didn't even realize that. It says at E5. It's not even E6. Wow.
Yeah. I am super stoked for I just think that Harmony Trailblazer is such a strong character. I think it was in my Discord, someone said that Harmony Trailblazer feels like Dendro MC, like
Yeah.
power level from Genshin Impact. They
Yeah.
just feel so powerful. They actually feel like a 5-star character.
100%. I love this. It enables like all these new different team comps that are it. Like Shui Yi gets stronger, Luca gets stronger. Boot gonna be insane when he comes out with this character. You can pair them with Ron May and get some. Oh man, the combinations are like endless. Harmony Trailblazer did a lot for Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah, I think like by the way, this is another spoiler, so if you want to skip ahead like I don't know 30 seconds and 3 2 1. Okay, so when I was doing the story and you get to play with Harmony Trailblazer and they do like there's like a test run where you can like do a trial version of the character. And I was using like Shui Yi, Pela, the Harmony MC and Gallagher, and I'm not gonna lie, like Shui Yi was hitting for, I think it was like with the super breaks like 20 or 30,000 damage, and I was like, yo, that is insane. I was like, and I'm sure that that's not even like a really good built Harmony MC. So I just think that they're just gonna get even better with like, you know, people having like fully invested into them.
Yeah, and that was a Hoyo made team, and if you check the stats of those characters, I don't know if you check the stats, but everyone had like about 330% break effect after the buff from Harmony MC. So yeah, it's just
that is
seeing
insane.
seeing the main character be like that powerful is just, I really like that. That was an incredible decision from Hoyo. Teen Yoon, I think Teen Yoon.
I think this is fair.
Yo, I just saw this. Bronya's in T2. Wait, Bronya's in T1.5. Sorry, she's in T1.5.
How far she is falling.
Bronya fell down so far. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Before we get to that, Luocha being in T1, I think that's fine. Fine. He's still a 5-star character. He's still gonna be above Gallagher. He does his own things. He can also strip buffs from the enemy, which isn't that valuable, but it is there. We can move down to T1.5. We have Clara, Genuine, QQ, and Zila. Do we think they all belong there?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that I think that Clara's like insanely strong. Like I'm surprised not many people are really like talking about her power, but if you have her signature light cone, I'm sure she's even better. I don't even have her signature light cone and she goes crazy. But yeah, I think Clara is really good. I think we need like a character that's like a 5-star of Lynx that provides like more healing, or like I don't know. But if we had a 5-star version of Lynx for Clara to basically heal her but apply aggro, I don't know. I think Clara is insanely strong. Genuine, I think, is fine in this tier. Yeah, I think QQ and Zila are kind of in a weird spot right now. What do you think?
So have you tried Clara with Jingli Yu Light Cone? I think it's like when you lose HP or something, you get the Eclipse buff, and then you ignore the enemy's defense, in addition to getting a bunch of like free crit damage. I ran that in MOC. It's actually like pretty nuts on her.
That sounds insane.
I agree with this. I don't have any problems with this. Yeah, they all belong there. Silverwolf being in T1.5 with Pela still being under her. Do disrespectful. Do you think Pela should be moved up?
Oh, I think Pela should definitely be moved up. I think she should at least be T1. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's interesting because E1 Silverwolf has so many problems. like energy problems. That
Yeah.
is.
I think that I think if she was I think it's weird that she's an amplifier. Like I think specialist kind of fits her a little bit more. I feel like she's like super versatile. Like she's a debuffer. You can play her as a breaker, like they're saying, like under the stat debuff and breaker. She can do like solid damage if you build her as a like sub DPS. I don't know. I think they like she should definitely be in the Ting Yun tier, but I think Pela being all the way in T2 is I don't know. I just feel like Pela is way too good to be in T2. That's my personal opinion, but
Yeah, I think she should
Bronya,
be. She shouldn't ever be under Silverwolf. They should either be in the same tier. Silverwolf E1 is definitely a cut above her because of the energy, but Pela provides too much value, and yeah.
I would agree.
So I've been playing with. I don't have him. See, I only have Gallagher at E2, but even at E2, he's still pretty strong, especially for being able to provide that debuff for my ratio. That's actually really nice. Then he's a pretty decent healer. He can also strip a debuff. I think it's E2 that strips the debuff. And then E1 gives him, when you enter the battle, I think it's like it's plus 50 effect res, plus 50% or something like that. I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I actually really like Gallagher. I think he deserves to be there. Yeah.
I've played so on my main I have E6 Gallagher and then but he's not built, so someone that's on my friends list has an E6 Gallagher that's built, and oh my gosh, he feels like Lawocha but like just a little bit weaker. His heals are insane, like yeah, and especially if you can break shields, like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he has his own individual damage with the break as well. You could pair him with Harmony Trailblazer for even more insane super breaks. Yeah, he's very good. T2 Blade.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Blade is like pretty good, but I don't know if he's like. I don't know. I think there's other characters that are like T3 that should not be in T3, which I don't know. I just think about like the MOC where you have Adventurine, who's like the physical. I just think like a character like Argenti is pretty good because he has AoE. And yeah, sure, Argenti does take your energy away, but like if you like, it's pretty easy to get the maximum on his dice with Argenti's skill because it's AoE.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like this MOC isn't really favored towards Blade that much. I honestly think it favors Zila more or Jinyuan. But
okay.
What do you think?
I mean, I just think Blade just he needs a character to come out in the future that can either give him a ton of HP or like something. He needs something because his damage is like, especially when you get to like floor 11 and floor 12, his damage is not it's just not there. Or maybe he'll get a support in the future that'll yeah, it really does. But yeah, maybe he'll get a support in the future that can help him out a bit. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Blade. As far as specialists, E6, Luca, Sampo, and Shui.
In my opinion, I think Shui and Luca could be in tier 1.5. Actually.
I was thinking that same thing. It's funny. So they have Sampo here for break, debuff, and dot.
His breaks can do a lot of damage.
I have run break, Sampo, physical break, and fire break are like the highest breaks in the game.
Yeah.
But I think Shui's and Luca at E6. I have Luca at E5, and my Luca's doing insane damage, especially if they're if the enemy's bleeding.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they're a cut above Sampo, 100%. So I'll put them in T1.5. Healers, Bailu, Japard, Lynx. Do we think they all deserve to be in the same tier?
Yes and no. I feel like the only reason why Lynx is so high is because she's just better than Natasha. Um, I don't know. Like, I think that like she does work well with characters like Blade or
Yeah.
Clara, right? But other than that, I think she's like for a free character, she's pretty solid. But other than that, I don't think that there's nothing to write home about Lynx. I
Yeah.
don't have her at E6, so I don't know like how strong E6 is. But I mean, for healing, like, she'll keep you alive. Like I've run her from most of the game, so I mean, she does the job really well. I just think that like compared to like Gallagher or some of the other 5-star sustains,
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this. I mean, there's just so many better healers or just better sustains than Lynx that it's hard to. I know it's hard for me to even like comment on it anymore. As far as like
I feel like
Japard,
Japar could be a little bit higher, maybe like maybe 1.5.
yeah, I can see Japard being there. He has the self revive as well.
That
Bilo
massive
has the
shield.
revive, which is huge, but you know, Bilo doesn't have cleanse, which is like more prevalent with the new enemies in 2.2, so I can't see that being an issue and them falling off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so meta characters is the next tier, T3, Argenti,
Yeah.
Misha at E6, and then Serval at E6. But yeah, you talked about Argenti. I haven't built my Misha, so I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I don't have Misha built. I have barely built Serval, but I feel like Argenti should be higher. Like I just don't think that he's he's the same quality as Misha
Yeah,
and Serval. Like
yeah, I agree.
I think he's better than tier 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'd put him right next to Blade. I think that'd be fair.
Yeah.
Serval's nuts if you build her at E6. I have
Yeah.
run her before in Pure Fiction. Specialists, Benifin and Welt. Do we think Welt deserves to move up? Well, it's E0. I mean, I have E1.
No, honestly, I feel like that's
Oh,
kinda
it's
fair.
also not signature light cone. I gotta think about that as well. So maybe like Argenti's one of those characters that needs a signature light cone.
Oh yeah.
Because the signature light cone's
guess
pretty cracked, I believe.
Yeah, I was thinking in the sense of signature Lycon. I was like, yeah, of course, Argenti's correct if you have the signature Lycon. But
Yeah, that's what they're basing it off of. It's just interesting that like Blades and T2 without signature light cone, because I feel like Blade really needs it, because he needs some damage from somewhere, man. I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair if we're looking at it not having a signature light cone. Yeah. Asta at E6 and being in T3 with next to Hanya.
I think I would move them up to T2 and I'd put Pela up to like T1.5. I just think that like Asta, if you're like, for example, if you're a new player or like even if you're pretty far progressed into the game, like even if you run dot teams, you could run Asta in dot teams and she like her breaks are good and the speed boost is really good. Same thing with, I think actually, I don't know, I haven't played E6 Hanya, but I just think that like if you own Sparkle, Hanya's not that good, you know. But
yeah,
I think that Asta is maybe a little bit better than Hanya, but that could be a hot take.
I'm not sure. I have Hanya at E5. But I did start to build her, and then I pulled Sparkle at like 4 or something, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll just build this character now. So yeah, not too much to say about that. But I agree. Asta should move up. I think Asta should move up for sure. She's really good for dot teams, and also Harmony MC, she's really good as well with those like big super breaks.
And yeah. So what do you think about Yukong in the or actually let's start deep damage dealers first. We're jumping around.
Yeah, Dan Hung, Herda, Himiko, Yan King, and Hook. And being in tier 4.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I feel like I think Himiko could be a little bit higher. I'm not gonna lie. Like I took my free to play account and Himiko's before I got what is it? Topaz. I use Himiko to push on my free to play account, which by the way has half the amount of investment as my main account, and I pushed with Himiko because I built her because it's like my only fire DPS. I pushed her all the way to 412. Like I couldn't I beat 36 or I full cleared 411 with Himiko, and I was like, hey, she gets the job done. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I could see her.
Kind of low.
I could see her moving up for sure for MOC. I could see.
She's not correct, but she could be a little bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Let's see. So as far as nothing else to say about Yan King.
Oh man, Yang Ching. I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like he's fine here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to see much use in this. I mean, I guess Aventurine is weak to ice, but you're not going to use Yan King versus Aventurine.
Yeah. I think we see Apocalyptic Shadow.
Maybe,
we'll see his use rates go up.
Yeah, he'll get some use there. Specialist, Shushang, and then,
and Fire MC.
Fire MC, yeah.
I don't know. I think that
Sushang definitely got better with Harmony MC.
Yep, I think so as well. I feel like Fire Trailblazer could maybe go up if you want to use Fire Trailblazer with Acheron. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
unless
together.
If you don't own Aventurine or Fushuan,
exactly.
He's a free character and he taunts, and you can use that one, the trainer, the burning light cone. I think it's pretty good. I don't know, but that's one team, so.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think there needs to be like a little box with Acheron's face in it where they move up at least one tier, because their value definitely shines there. But yeah, I agree with that, and I also agree Sushang should probably move up with the inclusion of Harmony MC, and then in amplifiers we have Yukong at E6. Clunky character. You can make Yukong work, you can do some like magical things, but it definitely goes back to what we talked about earlier, where it requires what did they say, where is it under the notable, they possess a notable weakness or downside, they won't disappoint you if you give them what they need to shine. So she definitely falls under that. As far as sustains, March 7th and Natasha, better options. We can just pretty much sum that up. Better options. Niche characters, Arlon and Physical Trailblazer, they probably deserve to be there. I would agree with that. Arlon did get a little bit better with Aventurine, being able to give him shields, but still deserves to be there. No one's pulling out Arlon in MOC unless you're running. I saw an Arlon versus Aventurine, but they had E6 Aventurine, and I was like, bro. Anyways,
not relatable
at all. Anyways, Pure Fiction, Herda being in the TO tier is damage dealers. T0 tier, the T0 tier.
Kudu for the win. Kudu for the win.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that she's up there.
I think she deserves to be there. Do we think Himiko is fine in T0.5, or do you think she should be up there with her?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think there's way more Ice Week in this Pure Fiction as well. So I think Herda just goes crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And then Black Swan, anytime there's like wind weakness, it makes me really wish I had Black Swan. Dude. Just because like she's so good in Pure Fiction. She deserves to be in the T0 tier. Like she's actually nuts in Pure Fiction. Here's the one I want to talk about. I'm gonna make a video on this in the future, before the Pure Fiction goes away. Robin being in T0 tier, 100% agree. She's nuts in Pure Fiction. She's actually insane. Giving your entire team an extra turn.
I need to see a run. I need to see a run,
bro.
Because I feel like it's correct.
It's correct, especially and this is mind you, without signature light cone. So, you know, she has her like energy problems, but
That's crazy.
that being able to advance your entire team forward is insane, while she's also doing damage attached to your damage, while providing a damage buff to your entire team and buffing your follow-up attack damage. Like, she's, yeah, perfect pure fiction character. She's insane. Ron May, nuts.
I think that, yeah, she deserves to be there.
Yeah, this is the so in pure fiction, I actually agree with Robin being next to Ron May. I actually agree with this. But yeah, if you put Ron May on a side in pure fiction, that's like a free 40k. Like, she's nuts. So it's interesting that we have a sustain in the T0 tier. Aventurine. I don't own Aventurine. I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Okay, so I think that I think he definitely deserves to be up here. I know everyone says that Aventurine has mid damage, but that mid damage kicks in pure fiction when you have those like stupid enemies that have like barely any HP.
Ooh,
that extra chip damage that he does is so nice. Plus, like the shielding, totally preventing your team from taking damage, and even if, for example, the enemies are going and they're hitting your teammates, the chances that he can do follow-up attacks is insanely valuable. Yeah, I definitely think Aventurine deserves to be up there for sure.
100%.
He's the only sustain that can deal damage other than Melocha, really. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Fushuan can, but you know, I think that Aventurine's the only one that can do like solid amount of damage, like 40k. Fushuan's not doing 40k damage.
Nah.
For a follow-up attack plus his ult.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So damage dealers in T0.5. Acheron. We talked about Himiko. So Acheron.
I think it's fair.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. You can kind of take her. You can put her on like any side. With a couple.
I think if you put speed boot Acheron too, like, because I think the problem with Acheron is that like when you do pure fiction, say if you clear a wave, then you have to
the downtime on getting your next ult.
Yeah, that's the only thing it sucks. So like if you have a fast Acheron with like, I don't know, like Black Swan or Impaler or something like that, then I think she gets, if all your teammates are fast, then I think it's okay. But if you're running like attack boot Acheron, then it kind of sucks, because then the ultimate up 10 is like really slow.
100%, I agree with that. Kafka being in T0.5 for pure fiction.
I think that's okay. I think it's pretty fair.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking I'd probably like move her down one. I don't know. I'm probably just like bitter from like the last pure fiction or something where I saw like lightning weakness and I slotted her in there and she did nothing. So, but I think it's fair. That's fine. Sparkle being in T0.5, I think that's fine. Obviously, skill point positive, buffs your DPS and advances them forward. She's gonna be a staple. And then for the sustain, I mean, I don't really run sustains in pure fiction, so I can't recommend. I mean, the only sustain I would run is Aventurine if I had Aventurine, but
I think Ho-Ho is actually pretty good.
Ho-Ho's good, and Ho-Ho will be good. Let's say if they put the new enemies in the pure fiction, you're gonna want a Ho-Ho.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds so terrifying. That sounds so bad. That sounds so scary.
Prepare. But yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I think her extra energy and the attack boost is good though, and the cleanse, like, I think Ho is pretty solid. You want to talk about tier 1?
Tier 1 Argenti being in tier 1, I agree. If like there's been so many times where an enemy has had physical weakness and I've been like, bro, I wish I had Argenti for this side, just because he has that AoE and then the double ult. Like he's He's very, 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 very good in Pure Fiction.
Yep.
I don't know if the general should be in tier 1 next to Argenti though. I don't know, man. Lightning Lord takes like 10 years to come out.
True. If only. Do you have Genuine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know if Topaz ult works with Genuine with his Lightning Lord? Does it advance it forward?
I mean, it advances. No, it doesn't advance Lightning Lord forward now.
See, I feel like, yeah, that's Genuine's biggest problem. Is like, I can just imagine you're like so close. You're like 39k away from like 40,000, and the cycle 0 is like Genuine's ult is like the next cycle in cycle 0. And it's just pain of. Yeah, that just sounds so painful. So I don't know. I feel like there should be a character that can advance forward his Lightning Lord. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That would be insane, actually. Imagine having his lightning Lord up, use like Sparkle or something like that. Use the Lightning Lord, boom, 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 and then you just pop Sparkle, like skill, advance him forward, do a skill ult, build up the stacks, then Lightning Lord again. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. Yeah, but that's his biggest issue. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Ayla next to Ting Yun in tier 1. I think that's fine.
I think that's pretty fair.
I think that's fair as well. Gallagher, I haven't tried Gallagher in Pure Fiction, but I might. Yeah, I think I will I think I'll run like... Nah, because I'm going to run Himiko, Herta, Robin. Maybe I'll run Gallagher, and we'll see if I can okay that first side. But yeah, he's probably fine there. His ult also advances him forward, giving him another like turn, so that is very good. Luocha being in T1,
I think that's I think maybe he could go down. The only thing that he has is the cleanse, or from the enemy buff, self buff, and he can do damage on his ult. Other than that, I feel like, in my personal opinion, I think he's not as good as.
Yeah, I think he should be moved down 100%. Clara being a T1.5. I can agree with her being under Argenti, honestly, but Claire is actually really underrated in Pure Fiction.
Yeah, I always use her in Pure Fiction, so I think she's good.
But, yeah, I'm forced.
I don't own Argenti, so I'm like...
Yeah, you're forced to. Harmony MC in Pure Fiction, I can see that. I can 100% see that.
Yeah.
The break is insane. I think E6 gives you a freaking extra... I guess E5 is the only... Is that the max you can get right now? Is that why it says E5?
Yeah.
That's probably why.
It's the max you can get. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you get, what is it, 4 from the statue, and then you do the story.
You get 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the E6 it makes your skill better. It makes you do more damage. So.
Yeah.
I could totally see Harmony Trailblazer being there, and then also enabling. Well, Super Break probably isn't that viable in MOC. Maybe if enemies are like lingering around with like 100 HP, then the Super Break will help you like pick them off. But Bronya being in tier 1.5.
I think Asa and Bronya should be switched.
You think Austin and Bronya should be switched for Pure Fiction? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that Asa, the speed and the break is like way better than advancing one character forward.
Yeah, the speed's huge. The speed with the right investment can put you like over 200, so you're going 3 times in a cycle. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I brought Bronya to Pure Fiction, to be honest. Blade being in tier 2. Blade, Jingliu, Zila, and Serval. You think Jingliu should be here? I mean, she's it's because when she's in the OP state, there's so much downtime to get her back into the OP state. So like, that's probably why she's there.
Unless if you have yourself an E6, what was your face? Tingyun and Hue.
Yeah.
Then you have 100% ult uptime.
Yeah.
That's all it is for me. Like I pretty much have 100% ult uptime because Ting Yun gives me the energy, and then Hwang Hwang just tops me off
Yep.
this whole time.
Yep. Yeah.
But if you don't have that team, then yeah, it does feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. I can agree with that. As far as specialists, Gwenhyphen, Sampo, and then the Fire Trailblazer.
I think this is fine. I feel like Gwenhyphen could be like a tier up, maybe.
Gwenhyphen being a tier up.
Just
I could see that.
yeah, like if you ever had E6, dude, and you're breaking those shields, like, man, I feel like that's correct, but that's just my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, especially if you're pairing her with like Harmony MC. I could totally see that.
Mhm.
So down here in T3 we have Dan Hung and Byron Lune, QQ, both being SP negative. We agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is totally fair.
Not too much to say about that.
Dill.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried Dill in Pure Fiction, and it is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah,
even
it's
at
pain.
E2.
Yeah, it's pain because of the
It's so
skill
bad.
points. Topaz, Welt, and Shui Yi. I feel like Topaz should go up one just because you can just enable her and Himika to do more damage. I feel like that's a reason for her to move up, but I don't know. And she has her own individual damage.
I would agree with that.
Sure, it's single target, but if Herta and Himiko are popping off, then Numby's gonna go more often. So like, it kind of makes her like not so much single target because they're going so often. So I do think she should move up.
Yeah. Also, we get like another AoE follow attack character that just happens to be good with Himiko.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about Hanya and the hot take from Snowy? For Wolf.
Oh god, like for the new subscribers to the channel, well, both of our channels, like we had a friend, we did a tier list. This man said Silver should be like A tier. What did he say? Was it A tier in Pure Fiction?
Yeah, I was like,
Bro.
yo, that's crazy.
I was like, huh? At E0? At E0?
Oh, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about that one.
This is respectful down here at Under the Meta for Hanya and stuff like that. And Silver Wolf, pretty fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
Sustainers, what do you think about this?
Sustainers, Bailu, Japard, Lynx. I think they're fine there. I just haven't touched any of these characters in Pure Fiction in a while. They're just not my first option, so I just don't have much to say about them. One thing I will talk about is Dr. Ratio being in T4. I actually run Dr. Ratio on the Sam side. Because there's it's because of the Pure Fiction buff where it's like, I think you get it's the second one, the energy one, where you get your ult back like after you follow up attack a bunch, you get your ult back, and then if you pair that with like Ting Yun or something, you have like a 1-turn ult. So that's gonna be really nice.
Crazy.
But that's so specific to the Pure Fiction. But if we're talking about this one specifically, I would move him up at least 1 to T3. Hook, Misha, Physical Trailblazer. I would never ever use them in Pure Fiction. I'm sure Misha's okay if you build Misha against like with ice weakness enemies. I'm sure Misha's fine. I would never choose Ting Yun here as well. Having to deal with the intricacies of Pure Fiction and a character as clunky as Yukong, that is nah. Yeah. And then the niche characters. March and Natasha. Yeah, I'm not using them. They're fine there. As far as the damage dealers and specialists in T5.
No, listen. Arlen, trust. There's some Arlen tech. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, I was like, huh? I was about to listen. I was like, all right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have my Arlen built. I have my E6. I haven't touched that character. Dan Hong.
I know he hits like 3 targets, but like, I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. If he could advance himself forward, like imagine if he could advance himself forward after he like skills, because he doesn't use skill points, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, these characters all suck. They're all single target.
Yeah. That's exactly why they're there. Yeah, but that's it. That is it for MOC and Pure Fiction. How do you feel overall about the new way that they're doing the tier list with the T0, the T5?
I like the tier list. I know that it's probably going to trigger people not seeing like S plus S A. I think it's pretty much the same. I do really like that they have like a difference between like meta characters and non-meta characters. So like if you're just getting into the game, right, you can look at this tier list and be like, okay, these are the best characters. These characters are also really good, but like they're not the best characters, but they're also extremely powerful. I think that is like a really good change to the tier list. EO said this in one of his videos, and I'd be quite interested to see if they start doing this. But if they do team tier lists, so like specific teams, how strong a specific team comp is, I think that would be quite interesting if they started doing that. Yeah, I think the tier list is good. But if you guys aren't subscribed, please go subscribe to Loki, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel as well, please do that. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.